Yes, he's just.
We're in a new building that's being built for entrepreneurs to come inhabit and build their new businesses. And over the last 5 years in Chattanooga, that's become a real thing. It's developing some good companies. It's presenting opportunities for people that were not possible 6 years ago. And as a result of this progress, we've moved into this new building. Right across the street from this new building is a Section 8 housing complex, which is for low-income people. It's where you go when you really are out of options, when you have no hope. And so what we have right here is one 10-story building that symbolizes hope and prosperity, and another 10-story building that symbolizes no hope at all. And we moved in, and one of the first things that happened as we were beginning to move was we went, well, this is interesting, because the divide between the haves and the haves not, between the hopeful and the hopeless, is now one street wide. You know, the digital divide is pretty narrow here. And we said, well, how can we engage the residents of this housing called Patton Towers in Chattanooga, Tennessee? How can we engage with them? How can we just become involved with them? And we thought, you know, the way that you start that sounds very similar to your philosophy. It's you don't go in and say, here's a bunch of stuff that's going to be good for you. Just take this, you'll feel better soon. You don't just show up and say, we're here to help. You know, everybody should run when somebody comes in and says that to them. So what we're doing is we believe that entrepreneurialism can be a real engine that can improve their lives if they take the steps to use it, right? To be involved in it. But how do you engender that interest? And we knew that we couldn't just come in and tell you, you know? So what we're doing right now, we've been in this building 3 months. And so we started off very gently. We'd hold some events and there'd be food left over. Take the food over there, just give it to them, right? We've got a couple people that have been hired here at the Company Lab, a nonprofit whose mission is to stimulate and advocate for entrepreneurialism in Chattanooga. Hired a couple people that are actually from that culture that's represented in that building, which is so different, even though it's one 50 feet away from us, that understand it and have lived that life that the residents do. And we said, these are people that come with trust. And they have also taken steps to improve their own situation through their own efforts, and through their entrepreneurial efforts particularly, have dramatically improved the quality of their own lives and their families. And so they are actually examples of this that we would like to help people see. So we've started this and been social, that's all, just making friends. And in that, we're identifying people that seem to be influencers and that are maybe a little more ambitious than their neighbor, and that could pull along folks with them as they make their own progress. And so we've started doing little game nights. So we, go in and run some real fun card games with them. We did bingo, which is an American game, and they call out a letter and you put it in. And we knew we were on the right track when we did that first time we did it, and they got into a big argument, the residents did, about the rules of the game. And that meant that they really cared, that they were in it. It was fun. And so now we're beginning to be friends. We're understood. We're not asking anybody for anything. And in the meantime, I've proposed to our foundations here at Philanthropic Givers that this approach, taken slowly and beginning with relationship building and developing friendships, is the right approach to take if you really want something with lasting significance to occur.
I agree.
So we work from the very bottom up, and rather than imposing from the top down. And it's been a real pleasure to meet you and to hear about what you're doing, because I think on maybe perhaps a different scale, we're working right here in the community, we have a very similar approach.
Cool. So can I